Moonstone Island is a game that has a bit of everything. It has card-based combat against monsters, which you can tame. You can build some friendships, find some recipes to decorate with, world exploring, and yes, even farming. This is what happened in my first month on Moonstone Island. Starting off, we are lounging around in the grass, enjoying the summer breeze, and our dad decides to wake us up. It's our last day at home, but we still have some chores to do before we take our leave. So Dad is going to give us the go-around with our basic farming. So we got to harvest all of our little crops here. He next tells us that flax is for taming, stone fruit is used to restore our stamina, and the lily pads are good for healing. Lesson 2, gathering seeds. So using our scythe on fully grown plants are going to give us their seeds, which we can then plant and, of course, need to water. He wants us to have something. Okay, he's growing 3 spirits in my mother's medallion. This is a pocket dimension that spirits can reside in. The medallion is mine, and I've put the spirits I've been training in there already. Okay. Ooh, so starting off, these are our starting monsters for the game. First off, we have Capacity, which is an electric spirit. And we have Sheep, which is our fire spirit. And Ankleo, which is an earth spirit. I decided to go with Capacity. Next, our dad goes into teaching us how to bash spirits or fighting them. Each spirit is going to have an armor that will block attack damage. That is the little shield by their health bar. In order to do full damage or bonus damage, we are going to have to get rid of that armor. You can use a bash armor card to get rid of it, or you can also hit them with a super effective attack. So starting off, we don't have any, so we're just gonna wail on it. You only have 3 points of energy per turn, so once you run out of that, it is time for your enemy's attack. Oh, it looks like we have gone some damage, so our dad wants us to go into our feed menu. We're going to use a lily pad and heal on up. Now that our spirit is dizzy, we are able to bash it to the great beyond. And that is the basic tutorial on how to fight our spirits. Now that we've done with our dad, time to go say goodbye to our mother. I would love to stick around for a bit longer. This house is so cute. But we get our main quest of spending a year away from home. Next time I see you, you'll be fully fledged alchemist. Oh, such a sad goodbye. Wait, this doesn't look like the exit of the house. We're just standing on a cliff. Okay, thanks. They're giving us some gifts. That'll help us along the way. Wherever you decide you are, that is what you call home. We love you so much. And I'm so proud to see you following in our footsteps. You're gonna make a great alchemist, sweetheart. Oh, alchemists share a love of things that grow. Applies to not only your crops, but also to the people around you. Our mom is so sweet. Oh my gosh. Yes, Mother, I promise I will be safe. I'll do my best. Both work. We need you in one piece. Time for our final lesson. Charge the broom up and release its energy to catch the wind. Oh, so I guess we're just gonna fly off. Okay. We can fly on brooms for a little witch. What's that light over there? Oh, there's a town in the distance. Finally, I hope they need an alchemist. Because I really need to get off this broom. I think I'm getting splinters. Ooh. Wow, this wind is getting really strong. Is it supposed to be this hard to stay on the broom? Oh no, I think I'm losing control. How do you land this thing? Oh no, we're crashing. Oh no, there goes my brand new broom. Ugh. And I dropped the tools Dad gave me, my mom's seeds. Guess I'm not leaving here anytime soon. I hope this isn't a bad omen. I better look around to see if I can find the tools and seeds I dropped. Well, that was a wonderful start to our game. Hopefully this is a good island. We look around for our tools and items, and we find a mine. And, you know what? I think we found everything that we need. Let's gather everything in here while we can. Oh, and it looks like we passed out. You fell asleep. Try to get to bed before 2 a.m. Okay, so we have a cutoff time. And oh, look at this cute little end scene. Is that us? We're so cute. Asano found us. I got Quill to carry you here, and I was worried you weren't going to wake up, but you did. I guess with that getup, you must be a new alchemist. How exciting. Or a stunt performer. Nah, we're an alchemist, yeah. You can stay in the spare room if you need somewhere to crash. Oh, sorry, I should have said crash. It's really insensitive, isn't it? Yeah, it's a little touchy subject. I still got the bruises. Oh, we missed some tools. Thank you. Maybe you can get your tent set up on the outskirts of town. Okay. Well, let's go say hello to Asano. She runs the tavern, and she has something for me. A recipe for a sell crate. Build one and place it wherever you get set up. You drop anything you want to sell in there, like crops or items. I'll pick it up at the end of the day and pay you for everything that's in there. If you want more recipes, you'll have to find them. Mines and dungeons. Okay, perfect. Well, we already found one, so maybe we can find a few more recipes in there. I need some stone to rebuild some minor basement repair. I want to ask, but sure. Thank you, you're a lifesaver. Next we meet Gianna. She works in the conservatory. If you don't mind, I have somewhere else I need to be. Okay, our little emo chick. Oh, we got some airdropped mail from Mom. Dad thanks Miss Sally for writing a letter so soon after you left. I had a bad dream you broke your broom. About that. Thank you for the recipe for a balloon because I'm sure we're going to need that to get around. Hopefully it can hold us. Thank you for the recipe. And we get a new journal entry to craft a balloon. And it looks like this mailbox is for us. General one in town. We got 2 mails. One from Moonstone Mail Co. Just saying that we can get mail from them. And one from the Alchemist Guild. About our first day as a new alchemist. Don't worry. We won't be eating any spirits. What? Well, I guess that it's time for us to figure out where we want our tent, because I don't think we need to rely on Asano to keep us up every day. But we find a couple of goodies up here as well, like a map and a moonstone. I like this little island here, so I cleared it off and set up my tent. Once you place your home, you can't pick it up until you craft another one. So you have to be sure it's where you want your tent. But I like this little island, so yeah, I'm sure. It's so cute! I don't have a door though, so that might be concerning. Going in, it looks like we have some wooden walls, even though it's a tent. But it comes with a bed and a chest. I want to have my chest outside, so we're gonna take that and pop it right here. Perfect. Now I guess we have a little bit more of our day, so I'm just gonna gather some wood. I gathered enough of our items to build the cell crate for Asano. So let's go and place it right by our home to have some easy access to it. And we also have the stone that she requested. So let's pop all of those in there. Quest completed. Stones for Asano. We also look at what else we can craft, which is a bunch of cloth, and the cloth can make us a balloon. Going into town at the end of the night, we meet Farah. I was imagining some old guy with a beard. I have found a mine. They are hidden under big rocks. But not the rocks in town. Those are protected, and I feel I'll kill you. Oh, okay. I will not touch any stones in town. I promise. I need some copper ore. Okay, we got you. Bring me that and I'll teach you how to make ingots. Okay. You want me to climb into a charcoal? Next, we go over and we find this gateway. When we hold it down, we're able to find a talisman. There are 3 types: a cleanse, meditate, and study. We feed them to spirits, and we are able to update their card decks, which can come in real handy later on. But for our first one, I decide to go with the meditate. Next, we meet Quill. Yes, I'm an alchemist. Quill is our resident artist. Next, we meet Cleo. She's so cute. Look at her bouncy curls. She's the resident historian and scholar. Okay. I think she lives in a lighthouse on the beach. Maybe? Next, we go into the tavern and let Asana know that we completed her quest. Basements never looked better. Here's some cash. Oh, thank you. Oh, there was something else I want to ask you. Have you checked out the dungeon? It's northeast of town near the hot spring. None of us have been able to go inside because it's full of wild spirits. I've heard there's treasure and stuff. Okay, you got it. I want that treasure. Well, on our way out of town, we realized that we ran out of stamina. We gotta keep our eye on our stamina. It causes us to pass out and ends the day if you run out. So starting off on day 3, we get a mail drop-in from Asano. New in town, issue 1. This letter is basically just letting us know to get out and meet our neighbors, which gives us the new quest to meet the locals, which thankfully we've already started. Next, we decide to plant in our seeds that our mom and dad gave us, start our little farming empire, and then dive into the mines to find that ore that Farah wanted for her quest. And maybe we'll find some loot as well. Going down a bit further, we find that there's spirits down here. We meet our first one, a mumbleweed. And you know what? Since he is the first spirit that we have found, I think we need another friend on our team. So we feed him a flax flower and add him to our medallion. Now we have 2 spirits on our fighting team. On our way throughout the mine, we find another one, and it's a cute little fluff fox. He's so cute. But we decide to kill him. We gain a bunch of experience for that, which was great. We are now level 4. We also find a chest in the mine here. The mines do tell you how many chests are in each of them, which is great. So now we found it, we now have 0 chests to find. We get the chest and a crafting recipe of a torch. Continuing on for the rest of the day, I think it's time that we head into town and meet the rest of the locals. Well, we already met Gianna, but it looks like she has a quest for us. Since you're doing all of the dangerous island exploring, we're going to find some seeds for him. Okay. Lena and I can propagate them, and then Rowan can sell them in their shop. Okay. I'll keep an eye out. Gives us a new quest to find spring seeds. Next we meet Ophelia. I'm Ophelia, though you might hear some people call me Lena. I'm the botanist in town. Well, let's look at what you got for sale. She sells a bunch of houseplants We can do a sapling, a rock, and a grass to plant some fauna around the town. Next shop is the carpenter, which is Paolo. Yes, I see that. You have a really nice looking vanity over there. You don't get newcomers that often. Okay, well, looking at his workshop, he will sell us a random crafting recipe each day and 3 random pieces of furniture. He'll also sell you stone, wood, and this is where you go to upgrade your house and your spirit barn. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Going through town, we go into our next shop, which is closed. That's not foreshadowing anything, is it? We run into Farah, which is perfect because I believe we have some ores for her. We sell her the 10 ores that she requested, which completes the furnace for a friend. And she gives us a furnace. Perfect. We don't have to make any. My forge is way too expensive to rent out. Yeah, it seems pretty big. She also lets us know that if we put our iron and copper ores into the furnace, we'll be able to make ingots, which starts a new quest to sell her some ingots. Looking at her store, Farah is where we can go in order to upgrade our tools, which we are going to need to do. Going into our next stop is to meet Zed. Hello, you must be the alchemist everyone's talking about. Yeah, that's me. I have always wanted to see an alchemist regalia in real life. Wow, nice to meet you. I'm Professor Zed. I run the Science Center. Drop by when you've seen a few spirits. I'd love to talk or research with you. Okay, Zed, I feel like we're going to be good friends. I was recently awarded a grant to study spirits that inhabit the outer islands. Pretty dangerous work, and let's just say I'm more of a lab kind of scientist. It's okay, I can do the field work. I need you to tame a spirit, any spirit, I'm not picky. Well, I already did that, so does that mean that the quest is completed already? As a thank you, I'll have Paolo drop off some blueprints for a spirit barn, which you can use to house the spirits. Ooh, yes, I would definitely like a spirit barn. I can turn in some of our spirit research that we've already done. So it lets you know the amount you've seen, banished, and tame. And doing that will get us a tiny little sum of money. Well, going off, we go over and take revenge on this lily pad that killed us the night before. And we meet Rowan. I run the shop here and I can help you with supplies and stuff. Oh, I'm Rowan. Yeah, I saw that on your name tag. Okay, bye. Ooh, we also find a warp whistle and a cute little guardian statue. If you click on it, you say a little prayer, which will get you a random item on our pedestal each day. Going over to the eastern side of the island, we find the beach and we meet Tobin, which is our last villager that we need to meet from the island. I'd offer make you tea, but me kettle's broke. I'm Tobin. Lovely Tamichi. I got a request for you. I heard you've been helping people out all over. Yeah, of course, I'll help you out. What better way to build some friendships with our townspeople? I'd love to see them. If you catch any, could you sell them to me? Yeah, of course. I love fishing in games. I will gladly catch some fish for you. Which gives us the new quest of mystical fish. We also find a moonstone hiding in that patch of grass and walk past another one that was in the grass. Over here, though, we do find the dungeon and spa. We decide to take a little dip in the hot spring, which can restore our stamina, before changing into our pajamas and heading to bed. The next morning, on day 4, we wake up to an airdrop mail from Zed. Thank you for taming a spirit for me to study. It turns out that spirit level correlates with microscopic. Okay, that's pretty good. Basically, we got the blueprints for our spirit barn. Ooh, we also got the recipe for a nest and a stall. Going into our crafting menu, we realized that we need a Moonstone enchanter first in order to make that. So I think we should start off by building a furnace, placing it down, and baking up some ingots in order to get that enchanter going. We start by planting off some more seeds and expanding our farm area. We then spend the rest of the day doing some foraging, gathering materials, and diving more into the mine in order to get some more ingots going. We run into a new spirit while we're down here, a Punchy Pot. He's pretty cute, and he has a good ability, so I think you're coming home with me. Thus, we have a third member of our team now. Looking at Punchy Pot's abilities, he is able to give us 1 uppercut in our hand at the start of each turn. We also have a few level ups to do, so every time they level up, you're able to choose which stat to boost up. You have armor, speed, vitality, and power. And then after you choose the stat, you're able to choose another card to add to their deck. I decide to go with the patient skill card. And then, we get some skill cards that are able to give us some more damage. And our Mumbleweed is leveling up as well, so we get to choose some more cards for him. And we'll try out the regroup card, and you can never go wrong with more bashes, but I think we need a better attack card. For the rest of the day, as it is now 13:10, we fill up our stamina and lift off with our new balloon. Oh, we literally just blow helium out of our mouth and float away. Okay. Oh my gosh, we move so slowly in this balloon. As you go, it does tick off your energy slowly. And slowly but surely, we make it to another island, completing our quest to craft a balloon. We now have a new quest to build the broom, which I will definitely want. Exploring this new island that we found, we come to a little pedestal and, oh, hello there, Magic Man. You've done it, you have. You have an interesting appearance to you. You found the Spring Temple. This ancient place used to be a site of worship. People would come from the Old Kingdom and leave offerings to the spirits here. But they forgot, and the spirits, they did not like that. This temple is built around a tree. It is around a sacred tree. But the spirits inside, oh, they are angry. Oh no. To reach the tree, you will have to make an offering, but first, leave an offering at the shrine, just like in ancient times. Yes, just like then. Okay. Obtain the Earth Seal is our new quest. It wants a cattail and a stone fruit. After we make an offering, the door opens, and I don't think I want to deal with this just yet. So we escape on our balloon and find a new island just south of that. And we stay here for a bit to do some foraging and explore a new island. Later on at night, as we're running around, a chicken house scares the shit out of us. Going inside, oh, we find Magic Man. We just met you. You're late. The winds blew you here, but it's almost too late. Oh, hello, I'm Magic Man. They used to call me Waldo, but not now. Oh, why not? I live in a chicken house. I saw you kind of jump scared me. I need your help. You see, I think I did something and I need someone to be the undoing. What? I lost my mind. Oh, okay. I remember losing my memories, scattering them across the islands, but I can't remember why. If you find any of the shattered memories, please bring them back to me. I'm not a licensed memoryologist. Sure. Doing that starts our new main quest of the game. Magic Man will also sell you some talismans each day. So he will normally sell you one of the gateway talismans, which are always a good idea to grab. And he'll sell you a random assortment of other cards that can go with the spirits that you have. Well, thank you for the card. I'll be careful. Going back outside, we continue our gathering and see this adorable looking worm apple thing come out of Magic Man's hut. Excuse me, a wormer? He is so cute. Of course, we grab him. However, we move to the Science Center. After we get out of that fight, we find ourselves stuck in a psychic storm now. These psychic islands come with their own crops and their own interesting little spirits to find. So we grab a couple and we find the Moonstone in the midst of it. Now, psychic islands have a random chance of appearing on any number of islands throughout your map. They will appear only after 20 o'clock. And I think that was it for the night, so we use our warp whistle and it takes us back to the goddess statue where we get a burn cleanse. To end our night, we pop in a moonstone into our furnace and head to bed. Starting off our next day, we get some airdropped mail from Zed. I have a very important quest for you. I'm doing experiments that require spirit resources, valuable materials dropped by spirits when they trust someone. Okay, well, looks like we definitely need a spirit burn even more now since we got a new quest. We do our morning chores of our furnace and taking care of our farming area. Taking a look at our journal, we can see the quests that we have acquired. For our quest to craft a new broom, we required a moonstone ingot, so we got that going last night. Next, we gotta build the Moonstone Enchanter. We also need some spirit poop for Zed, a bunch of spring seeds, and mystical fruit. Well, first up, let's stop by Zed. You have another quest for me. Oh my god, Zed. Give us a break already. We just started. Okay, well, let's turn in our spirit research and acquire a tiny little sum. We then decide to go into our medallion and say goodbye to our little mumbleweed and take this adorable little wormer into our team. Wormer's ability is able to cut down the grass in the overworld while he's following you, which comes in handy. But for the rest of the day, I think we should continue exploring on our super slow balloon. Going north, we find another island which has a gateway for another talisman. And I decide to walk around a bit and do some resource gathering, smash some rocks, and hopefully we can find a mine on this island. And there it is. I do see this little guy walking around, so I decide to get in a fight with him and add him to our collection. We jump into the mine and straight away find a chest. That's great. We are able to find the recipe to make a decoration station. We're going to need that if we want to make use of all these decorations that we are going to be collecting. After we jumped out of the mines, we're running along and Wormer here found our moonstone. Thank you, little guy. I then decide to use my balloon and travel off of the island. Unfortunately, I was not paying attention to how much stamina I had, and, yeah. Oh no. Passed out for exhaustion. Okay, yeah, keep an eye on my stamina. However, we did level up in our spirit tree. So there are multiple different skill trees that you're able to level up in the game. I decide to do Spirit Adapt, which will improve the chance of successfully taming a spirit. We're not in our house. Waking up on the next day, it looks like we're in Magic Man's house. You are passed out. I carried you here. You're safe now. Oh, okay, thank you. It's dangerous on those islands. Yeah, I kind of floated off into the abyss, but thank you. Oh, and it looks like our airdrop mail is able to find us even out here. It is a letter from Zed talking about the psychic spirits that we found last night. And, of course, he's requesting us to go to the Science Center to get another quest for him. This guy never sleeps. We go off and float our way back home. We make another furnace and make a trip over to Farah. We have a little chat, sell her the iron ingots for her request, and she gives us a recipe in order to make anvils. And I don't think we're gonna make use of that anytime soon. As we're walking through town, we notice that the mailbox is bouncing, so we check the mail. We get a Sonos Town Issue number 2 and a letter from Zed. Just checking the research you turned in, you've already discovered 10 spirits. This is fantastic news for my research. I'll give you another research task. Oh my god, how many quests are you going to give us? Well, Zed, I'm doing a lot of work for you now. And another quest. Awesome. We need that spirit barn in order to do a couple of those requests for him. Later on in the day, I decide to do some gathering on the beach. And as I'm getting exhausted, I find another mine. But that's it for that day. I do, however, level up in foraging and take the luminous skill in order to see more at night. I then start my next day by building our Moonstone Enchanter and looking at all of the recipes that we got. Spirit Barn is gonna take another Moonstone ingot, so we gotta find some more and do a bunch of gathering. You're also able to build new houses in here and a broom. Hopefully we're able to get along quicker now. I then spend the next little bit doing some more resource gathering, as we're going to need a bunch of wood. Going into town, we get a letter from Rowan letting us know that his store is open. And after chugging down a couple stone fruits, I take my new broom on a new adventure. We head down and find ourselves on a new biome-looking type of island, which is the beach island. We are able to find water spirits here. Look how cute they are! We grab the sand crashel and the beach ball. We also find this little hot spring down here, which is able to restore our energy a lot quicker. And we find our moonstone. Then head into the mine that we found earlier. There are 2 chests in here, so we spent a little bit of time in here trying to clear these out. Later on that night, I come out of the mine to do some more resource gathering and get another visit from Magic Man. I forgot I put the door in. What? Grab your talisman, we head out and start a couple more fights before heading on home. We give the statue a little prayer and sort out all of our inventory, which is full of spirit eggs. We need that barn. And then on my way to go to bed, I pass out outside my door. Well, at least we leveled up in combat. I decide to go with one step ahead, which lets us draw an additional card at the start of combat. Starting off day 8, we head down and pay a trip to Farah. After giving her a little chat, we go down into her shop, and I think it's time that we upgrade our tools. We grab the upgraded scythe first, and then upgrade our hammer. We then go take a peek at Tobin's shop. After talking with him for a little bit, I think it's high time we purchase the fishing rod from him. We then grab our broom and set off on another adventure, going down to the beach island that we found yesterday. Exploring it more, we're able to find a talisman gateway, choose another meditate one, and continue on with foraging through this part of the island. Later on at night, we veer off to the east side, find a new island with its accompanying moonstone and a gateway. Then we tuck ourselves into bed. Waking up on day 9, we start with some morning chores of planting a bunch of seeds that we got, tending to our normal farm, and head off for the day's adventure. Going over to the east, we find ourselves on a brand new island that is chock full of trees. After doing a bit of deforestation right into the night, we find out it turns into another psychic island. So we go around and collect all of the seeds that come with this island, walk by the Moonstone a couple of times, and find some new spirits. We then make our way back home to grab our last ingots that we need out of the furnace in order to make our spirit barn. Though it's a little late, so I think we will place it down in the morning. But let's head on off to bed. Granting us a skill up in social, we choose Rise and Shine in order to start with extra stamina. We add some more to our farming area, take care of our morning chores, and place our spirit barn off to the right side, right over here. Going in, it comes equipped with one stall, which is great. We pop down one of our eggs, and since it came with it, let's grab another egg. Next stop, we head into town and visit Farah. I think we need to upgrade yet another one of our scythes. And, of course, head on off and do more exploring. We end up finding an island just down to the south here, where we find our moonstone. Continuing off, we do a bit more exploring, find our magic man in the process, and, excuse me, this little octopop, he has a cute little sailor hat. However, he has a really bad weakness, so we go and find another one, which plays hard to get. However, he's able to to our team. And then we head to bed. Next morning, we beeline straight for Zed because we want to add that octopop to our team. Going through our team, I think that Wormer is our least equipped in battle. So let's head and grab our... why is there a lock on your card? And it seems that we have not leveled up our taming well enough in order to add him to our team. So we go out and befriend a bunch of new spirits. In the process of exploring, we find this interesting pillar. As we touch it, it actually teleports us over to a brand new island all the way out here on the outskirts. As you can see on our Moonstone map here, the red ticks along the side indicates how high of a level the spirits on the island are. Since they're in red, that means they're gonna kill us. So let's grab our talisman and get the hell out of here. Heading back over to a beach island, we befriend a snorkel and upgrade our barn into the little egg nursery that it is. On our way back to our house, we accidentally fall asleep. Yet again, we do level up in spirits taming. So, of course, we have to grab the beginner spirit mancer because we need the next level in order to get octopus. We also level up in our foraging skill. So I grab the beginner angler because I think we'll be doing some fishing soon. The next morning on day 12, we head over and make a few upgrades to our farming area with some sprinklers. And in town, we get a mail from our father. Mother and I completely forgot to tell you about moonstones. Dad, please, we are experts by now. We know all about moonstones. Heading into our medallion, we are finally able to say goodbye to Wimmer and add little Octopup into our team. Let's go say hi to him. Oh, he's so cute. Of course, we want him to follow us because his skill allows us to heal the HP of our spirits as well as our stamina whenever we go into the hot pools. Our next trip is going to go see Rowan and buying some seeds for our ever-expanding farm area. We then decide to go back into our medallion and make use of some of these talismans that we have been collecting. The Meditate talisman will allow us to upgrade one of our cards. And then we are able to add a few more to our deck. So we decide to grab a new card for Octopop and a new card for Punchpot. We then decide to go exploring up north of the island and find this mysterious little cave, which brings us to this lookout point. Wow, this is so beautiful. But we got some work to do. We then discover that there is a gateway over here, so we put down a couple of bridges and make sure that we activate it. Grabbing ourselves a new talisman card, we then decide that it's time that we head into our first dungeon. Hello there. Please don't hurt me. You are very large. The dungeons are full of chests, but they're also full of puzzles and spirits to beat. So as we go through, we got to make sure that we collect them. Our first chest gives us a recipe for our mailbox. That could come in handy because I'm getting tired of going into town to find my mail. After bashing a few spirits, we're able to grab our second chest. And make sure you grab these chests as well. They're worth a tidy sum themselves. Pressing the switch allows us to open a door into our next area. We find ourselves in a room that has a hot spring, so let's take advantage of it, top ourselves off. Hot springs are normally beside the bosses, but you know what? Let's take them on. Each dungeon is going to have a guardian at the end that you are going to have to beat. The guardians are going to be the same main type as the dungeon that you're in. And it has a boss level skill beside it, so you cannot tame it. However, this brick house guy that he's with can be tamed. Going through his abilities, the guardian is going to add to his armor by 1 each turn until it reaches the maximum amount of armor it can have, which can get pretty annoying. However, he is only level 6, so I'm sure we won't have any problem beating him. Our little Octopup is able to get the finishing blow on the Guardian, gets us a good amount of experience, and we find a memory shard. This is what the magic man was looking for. After beating him, the gates fall down. We get a boss level chest, which has a stone fence in it. Make sure you grab this chest. It's worth like $300 on its own. Going into our next room, we find an ando tree. If we hold to activate it, it fills us with strength, and our stamina is permanently increased. And that completes the quest of exploring a dungeon. Well, that was a pretty busy day, so let's head to bed. That does level up in our combat skill tree. We grab the energy boost, which is able to give us 1 extra energy at the beginning of each combat. Starting off our next day on day 13, we get some mail dropped air from Rowan. I run the general store in case you forgot who I was. I have a favor. I've been inspired by the way you live in harmony with spirits, just like in the early days of the Old Kingdom. I think we should all follow example and pair people up with spirit companions. Ooh, that's exciting. Okay, I can do that. Then we head outside and place our mailbox right by our front entrance. Going into our house, I also decided to make a calendar, so now we can finally see the month and any birthdays. So thankfully we haven't missed any, but there's 2 later on in the month. We then decide to go out exploring, and just as I'm about to leave this island, Magic Man decides to jump scare me from behind. Going off and exploring our next island, we find ourselves with another dungeon. Going in, we are greeted by the dungeon master yet again, rearing him into life, and there's a hefty 6 chests in this dungeon. Oh my. So starting off, we go and bash a couple of spirits in order to get around easy. And we find our first chest, which gives us a painter's desk. Then on our way over here, we see this cute little cool slime and add him to our team. Continuing on, we find our next chest, which is guarded by this wormer. Inside, we get a 4-poster bed. That can come in handy. Heading up north, we find our pool and the guardian, which we decide to take on. Might as well since we're here. This guardian is level 6 and by himself today, so I don't think he's going to be too much of a problem. Capacity gets our finishing blow, which grants us a good amount of experience, and our second memory shard for Magic Man. Unlocking the gates to our boss chest, we get a bunch of stuff, including a moonstone and an earth tree. Okay. We pick up our chest and head on off to get our increased stamina from the ando tree. And of course, we are heading right back on in because we got some chests to find still. There are 3 left in this dungeon. Heading up north, I'm able to find our first one, and we give up. I couldn't find the rest. So I head back out to explore. Heading up north, we're able to find our first poison island. So I get out my scythe and I go hunting for our moonstone. But also for some new spirits and for some crops. Once we're back home, I empty out my inventory, selling this boss chest, of course, and head on into bed. Tonight, we leveled up our archaeology skill. I'm going to grab this one down here so that the bosses are easier to beat. And next morning, we get another airdropped mail from Paulo. He is going to be our first recipient of a spirit. He wants one that is kind of wooden. I've seen illustrations of this spirit in Cleo's books. It's named something like Okay? Oaktifer? Don't worry, we'll find you one. We then go and check in our barn to find out that we hatched 2 spirits, a Torble and a Beach Ball. We then decide to veer off and take a peek at the spring temple again. Surely it can't be that hard to beat, right? We got a full team. Okay, we got some leaves. Oh, there are spirits in here and chests. Okay, it's just 3 levels. This doesn't seem too bad. Heading on in, we get into our first fight with a long log. Well, since this is the first one that we've seen, of course, we gotta feed it and add it to our collection. We then find ourselves an alchemist wand. This tool allows the user to rapidly grow plants by spending stamina. Okay, that can come in handy. We then find a new altar which wants a copper and iron ingot, which we do not have, so I guess it's time that we leave. On our way out, we decide to do some exploring north of this island and find ourselves on another Earth island. We decide to stick here for a bit, do some resource gathering, and collect our gateway, of course. We then veer off and find ourselves on another poison-type island. We do some resource gathering here, some new seeds, and say hello to Magic Man. We find ourselves in a new island where we get a new Moonstone, and as I'm trying to get away, I don't pay attention to my stamina and pass out from exhaustion. Great. At least we leveled up again. So we leveled up in our spirit tree. I decided to up the level of spirits that we're able to tame. And we leveled up in our combat skill, which I decided to use on this skill right here, which will increase the chance of uncommon cards appearing when we level up. Since Magic Man saved us this night, we get this cute little end screen. Oh, and we get a notification that we hatched some spirits. The following morning, day 15, we find ourselves back in Magic Man's hut. Thank you for the save, man. I'll see you later. Our airdrop mail finds us over on this island, and of course it's from Zed. Soda told me you recently hatched your own baby spirit. I'm a parent. You'll need this stall for holding your spirits, but it never reads refilling. Ooh, that is going to come in handy. So we can now make the Moongrass spirit stall. Taking this teleporter, we find ourselves on a new island. Well, it's not that much of a distance, but it'll help us. So I decide to spend a little bit of time here foraging around until we move on to our next island, which is our first electric island, I think. So I spent some time collecting before moving on to the next teleporter, which we find ourselves at a fire island. Not that far behind. We do some foraging, find our Moonstone, and run away from the skeleton that has been chasing us. We find ourselves at another fire island where we do some searching for the Moonstone, and more searching, where we get ambushed by this level 50 Flamebit and gang. I keep trying to flee and fail each time, which causes my spirits to die, and so do I. Magic Man then comes to save us for a second night in a row. We get a new spirit, which is great. However, since we never made it home that day, we risk our spirits running away. So I make a beeline for the house, saying a little prayer to our goddess that our spirits are still there. On our way home, we stop by Ophelia and sell her the new seeds that we found. We only need 2 more crops left to find. Looking at our journal for them, it is 2 seeds that we haven't seen before, but I'm pretty sure we can find them on dark islands. Heading over to Zed, he confirms that there are dark spirits, so I'm sure that's where we're going to find our seeds that we are missing. I need your help to banish them. When you've done that, just turn it in with the rest of your research. I think it's going to be a while before we do that. Next, we pay a visit into Paolo and give him the oaken that he requested, granting us a bunch of friendship points. As a thank you, please take this crafting recipe on the house. A loom. Okay, thank you. While we're here, let's give you a gift. Making our way home into our barn. I don't believe anyone ran away, so we say a quick prayer of thanks to our goddess. Set down some new eggs to hatch and feed our little spirit babies that decide to stay with us. We then see that we have a piece of mail from our mother. It's been almost an entire season you've been gone. How is the island life? I am doing great. Thank you so much. Love, Mom and Dad. We go and check on our farming area. We got a little bit to harvest right before bedtime. Tuck ourselves in. We found out that we actually leveled up again. So we leveled up in agriculture, which we level up by selling crops. I decided to go with this skill as that will grant us the chance that harvesting crops will drop their seeds. We also level up in social. I go with morning person, which gives us the chance of waking up an hour earlier. Heading out on day 17, we get a letter from Tobin. We then harvest a bunch of our crops and deal with the rest of our morning chores. We make a couple more sprinklers to add to our farm right before we head out to an island and take care of this mine. There are 2 chests to find in here, and we do have some ore collecting to do. After we did some mining, we head out and find a new beach island with a gateway so we can get a talisman and our moonstone for the island. We spent a little bit of time still on this island doing some foraging before heading off and seeing if we can find something else at the end of the night, which luckily for us is right below this island. After looking around for a bit and pushing it right to the limit, I find our moonstone and head right back home. However, I do not make it in time and pass out in the road. Guys, I promise I'm not drunk. I'm just super tired. The following morning, we go right back into our morning chores, starting off with upgrading our spirit barn and taking care of our spirits. Then pop over to Rowan's and buy a couple more of these magic mushroom seeds. And over to Farah so that we can upgrade our axe into iron. We then stop by our favorite researcher, Zed, have a little chat, give in some spirit research for a very small sum. And since we have a bunch of spirits in the storage area here, we decide to pick up a couple of them for our spirit barn back home. We are now nice and full. We added in the psychic spirits. And you know what? Our barn's looking pretty good by now. We then head over to the Spring Temple Island and just do a little bit of deforestation. By the end of the night, we find our moonstone and head on off into the unknown to find another island. We find ourselves at an electric island where we do some foraging and run into these new spirits. We grab one of these arm bots from the little gang that approached us and head back on home to bed. The following morning, on day 19, we head straight out to do some deforestation of the island above us, as we are in great need of wood. After clearing out that island pretty well, we head on off to a nearby one and continue our deforestation there. And when that is done at that island, we head off and find another island, which has a gateway, and do some more resource gathering there. We collect right up into the late of the night, so we take out our spirit whistle and teleport on home, where the goddess gives us a stone. Thanks. Once we are back home, we do a bunch of crafting to get a bunch of new stalls set up in our barn before we head on off to bed, where we level up in foraging. We pick a link to grass for this option. The following morning, on day 20, our first stop of the day is to go talk with Zed, and we sell him some of the spirit poop that he requested a while ago. We also take a peek at the spirits that we have lodged up in our spirit storage. We have a couple of extras, so we let go of a couple and add a few to our spirit barn. Of course, we never forget about Punchy. We can't leave him behind. We grab a few more to put in our spirit barn so that we have a good assortment of spirits, and go take a peek at them. It's getting pretty full in here. I decide to go and get rid of this little beach ball guy since we already have one, and that'll allow us to make some room for some new spirits. Now that all of our chores are done, I think it's time that we go off and continue with the spring dungeon. For our next offering, it needs an iron and copper bar. We then try to climb up this vine, however, it doesn't seem to reach all the way up, so we grab our spirit wand that we gathered and spend a bit of energy to grow it up a bit. On the next level, we have a level 6 long log that is a boss level. So good thing we grabbed the first one because we wouldn't be able to grab him. We finish him off, grab the chest, and take a look at the next offering table. So it has clay, which we brought. However, it needs a moonstone, which we did not bring. So off to get that. We have returned with the stupid moonstone in hand. Let's go finish this. Here you go. Here's your stupid moonstone. Open the door. Of course, we have to grow this plant in order to get to the next level in the dungeon. Oh, and it looks like we have a boss fight against the Kirby tree. Going into this fight, we find ourselves with a Wildwood level 15, and he has 2 long log boss companions. Now, the Wildwood ability allows him to not get any damage done to him if the 2 long logs are there protecting him. So we go through quite a bit of rounds trying to get rid of these long logs in order to do damage to the Wildwood. And after finally being able to take them out, we are able to finally chip away at the Wildwood. However, on his next turn, we repeat the process. And again. until he takes out our capacity, unfortunately. So we just have to chip away with the 2 that we got. After a grueling process, we finally take down that boss, which he then explodes into 1,000,000 pieces, giving us the Earth Seal. Completing that quest for Magic Man. And that seems to be all, so I guess we're out of here. Later on in the night, we decided to do a bit of foraging and gathering of resources, and we find ourselves with it turning into a psychic island. So we go around and collect all of the crops that come with that island. And of course, killing some spirits along the way. We then head on off to bed at a tidy 1:50 at night, where we level up in our combat. And we also leveled up in agriculture, where we grab a boosted chance to get seeds when crops are harvested. Our next morning on day 21, we wake up with our airdropped mail from Tobin. He is requesting his own spirit, a particular one with a snorkel that makes me chuckle every time I'm after having one like that for myself as a good luck charm. Okay, we can get that done for you, Tobin. We also have a second letter in our mailbox from Paolo, telling us to treat ourselves to a hand-carved chair. Okay, I see what you're doing. After that, we go into town and give Tobin his snorkel that he requested. What a beauty you are, so handsome. I'll be taking good care of ye. Oh, you're welcome. He got a new type of fishing lure. Okay. See ya. We then head back on home and decide to level up our Marsha before adding them into our team. We then find ourselves with a skill card called Accelerant, which doubles the target's poison. That is gonna come in clutch. For the rest of the night, we make our way over into a mine and look for some chests, including a double bed. Okay, we can upgrade our bed. We find another chest that gives us the sigil chalk and get bombarded by this little team of monsters, where we grab a gemlin for our team. Heading back home at night, we make our way into bed. However, we don't quite make it there. Of course. I know, before 2 a.m. However, we do level up in our spirit tree and our social tree. Our next morning, we get a new mail from Ophelia. Please do not damage the rocks and trees in town. Okay, I got it. Don't worry. Looking at our journal, we go over a rundown of what we're missing still to do this month and gather the spirit poops that Zed is missing from his list. We make our way over to Zed and sell him those for the quest, and take a peek at the spirits that we have stored with him, including this little poncho that's gonna go back to our barn. We then head over to Farah and decide to upgrade our hammer into iron. Then make our way to the south of town to venture off on our broom. We head on over to the nearby Sun Island and dive into the dungeon there that we haven't done. Hello, dungeon boss. Time to wake up. We make our way through this dungeon, which is full of twists and turns. We have quite a few chests to open, but we get them all. And then we head on over to the Guardian. Again, he is level 6, so we're able to make some quick work of him. Grabbing his memory shard, we go by, get his chest, and we grab the ando tree. Oh, that was a long day. Difficult battles all around, but I think we should make our way home to bed. Looking at the clock, I don't think we're going to make it. Oh no, it's 1:50. Oh no, oh, okay, we fell asleep on a bridge tonight. Okay, don't mind me, drunk alchemist of the town. Well, we are getting towards the end of the month. We have completed 3 out of 30 dungeons so far. Waking up on our next morning, we go straight to sell all the items and take care of our inventory before we start our day with our morning chores. Empty out the furnace, look after our spirits, and then take a little peek at where we want to go next, which I'm thinking is this island here to do another dungeon. We've uncovered quite a bit though so far. We make our way over to the electrical island. Before diving into the dungeon, we do a bit of foraging, uncover the mine, and find this cute little guy. A snom and a bread mouse. Oh my gosh, that mouse. Bread? What are you? Are you just a toaster? I don't care, but you're both pretty cute. So, of course, we gotta add them to our collection. We also find a capacity. Before uncovering the Moonstone, walk right by it and head into the mine. Hey, wake up! I'm here to loot your dungeon. This one is full of more twists and turns, falling floors, bunch of annoying fans, and super difficult puzzles to get these chests. We make our way over here to find the secret chest. And find ourselves face to face with the Dungeon Guardian. This one's level 11, so it's a little bit trickier, and he has 2 hunchmen guarding it with him. Capacity and Bread Mouse. However, they are no match for us. We grab his memory shard, the chest that he is guarding, and can't forget about our ando tree. We head on out, and upon leaving, do we notice it? Do we notice it? Oh, there it is. We finally noticed the Moonstone. Later on, we go to leave the island. However, we find this robot dog. Excuse me? Oh my gosh, he's so cute. However, he is a boss, so we're not able to tame him. We then make our way home for bed, check our calendar, and realize that we missed Quill's birthday. Let's go to bed upset. We did, however, level up in archaeology. Yes, we would like more stamina from those trees, please. And starting off our day 24, we got a bunch to harvest today. It's getting towards the end of the month, so hopefully we don't have much more to do. After doing our morning chores, of course, we head off and do some exploring. Which brings us to Magic Man. Magical power! We grab our talismans that we would like from him, including Reckless Gas, which, paired with our accelerant card, comes in handy. We then continue our exploration and finding new islands over to the north here, where we find a new gateway with a talisman. This island also comes equipped with a dungeon. However, I feel like I'm going to do some foraging first and looking for the mine. We also have the Moonstone to find. However, it might be easier to find it at night, so I'm going to jump into the mine first. As we are leveling up Marsha, we find an Accelerant Plus card, which allows us to triple the target's poison. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. We then continue on and gather our Moonstone, and we get a Psychic Island. After chopping down a couple of trees, we find ourselves in some fights with the spirits. However, that seems to be the only fight that we find, which is quite odd. Into bed we go! Where we leveled up in 2 areas, in our combat and in foraging. Starting off our next morning, we get a letter in the mail from Cleo. Just want to write you to know you're so busy, wanted to say you're welcome to come by. Oh, thanks, Cleo. We go and continue on with our morning chores, which, gathering all these moonstones, will allow us to make our glider. Oh, this is such a big upgrade. Gathering up some magic mushrooms. These are really good at stamina recovery. And taking a peek at our map. Now, since the month is almost over, we haven't found a dark island yet. I did look it up and found out that dark islands are found on the very outskirts of the map. So, for today at least, and maybe the next few days if we don't find them, our goal is to find dark islands. So I pull out my glider and zoom about to some unknown areas and try to find a dark island. Going along up north, we do find Electric Island, and on our way bypassing a fire island, we see a moonstone, so decide to stop by. We did venture our way to the outskirts of the map, however, so we only have to find out from here. I think I'm going to fly out to the west side and down and see what I can find. We land on Electric Island over here. Make our way over to the right side and we find Electric Island, but not what we're looking for. Heading down, we find another one. Loot up the place before we make our way out. And we find a beach island. At the end of the day, all hope is lost. However, we find ourselves on a dark island. It is draining our stamina. So we gotta quickly go around and pick up the crops that we find. Fortunately, our moonstone is growing bright, so we can grab that. The crops are too high level for us to cut with our scythe, so we gotta risk it with RNG to pick them up and have the seeds drop. Going through our seeds, we only managed to find the bloodroot. We're still missing one. Well, we run out of time, so we call it a day and head to bed. We did level up in our agriculture, so we level up our green thumb ability and go through the map where, yeah, it took me quite a while of searching the outskirts in order to get there. However, they should be clumped nearby, so I think we'll make our way back down there and see what we can find. On our way there, we find a little island where we make a pit stop to use the spa, and this one, which has a teleporter, so might as well see where that goes. It does bring us pretty close. We head back to the Dark Island, and right next door we find another one. Unfortunately, we cannot cut it down. But as we're going, we do get the seeds that we need. So we make a quick exit before this island kills us. Heading a bit north, we find a third dark island in the shape of the fun little S shapes that you may have drawn if you are my age when you were younger. And we're able to get the seeds that we need. So there's our dark island clumps. We will need to make note of that so that we can return in future months to get the seeds from there. The rest of the day is just spent foraging and deforestation against this poor poison island, where we also find our moonstone. I head home a bit early as our stamina is lacking and head on over to the tavern, where everyone hangs out every Friday, so it is a good day to go there and able to talk to everyone, maybe not raise some friendships. And we can also look at what the tavern has for sale. They sell coffee, beer, wine, and a Sonos dish of the day. I'm not too sure about the dish of the day. That seems a little sketchy. Effects may vary. Yeah, I don't know about that. I purchase a coffee and decide to call it a day. Overnight, we level up in our spirit tree and get spirit bond. We really want our spirits to drop their eggs. Next morning, we do our morning chores quickly before stopping by to see Ophelia and selling her the 2 seeds that we are missing, which completes our Spring Seed Seeker quest, granting us $5,000 as a reward. We go and pay a trip to Farah and sell her all of our gems that's been stockpiling in our chest. And we upgrade our hoe twice. Make it a lot easier for us to dig the farming area. We then decide to go ask Quill on a date. Let's go to the beach. Oh, okay. Never mind. Well, Farah, surely you would like to go on a date with us. How would you like to go tomorrow to the beach? Okay, next time. That's okay. Rowan, hello. Are you busy tomorrow? Would you like to go to the beach? Okay. At least we got the achievement for being unpopular. I go to drown my sorrows at the bar, find out it's empty, and head out disappointed. For the remainder of the day, I decide to go check out a nearby dungeon on this electric island. Hello, dungeon boss. Wake up from your slumber. It is time to battle me. I will find all of your chests. You will have no luck in keeping me out from your complicated button pressing and dodging of your arrows. I will grab all of your chests and grab your palm trees. We find a hidden teleporter but underneath this rock, which will bring us to this chest containing a chair. Okay, that seems pretty useful to have in our house. I then notice that there is a little outcropping off to the side here, so thinking that might be a secret little wall pass-through, I take my balloon over and realize that I cannot go through this wall. Well, goodbye! Thankfully, that only takes off a little bit of our stamina, so we continue on, find our next chest and a secret passageway through the wall. This takes us directly to the Dungeon Master here. So before we take him on, I think we should top up our energy and our health points. Our last chest, so we don't have to go around anymore. I then spot that he's level 21, and no thank you. Time for bed. Starting off day 28, it is our last day of the month. We get a letter from Magic Man requesting a spirit. Okay, we can do that. we collect all of the last of our crops, put in a few more stalls into our spirit barn, which is almost full by now. We've been collecting a ton of eggs. On our way out, we stopped to grab Fishbow, which is the spirit that Magic Man has been requesting. Capacity, I'm sorry, I will be right back for you. We head on up north in order to find Magic Man to complete his quest. Coming over to this island, we do a little bit of resource gathering and deforestation to clear a path for him to appear. And right before going in, I spot in the corner this flashing Oakland. Ooh, this is the first time that we found a hollow spirit. They are the exact same as a normal counterpart, but it's kind of like a shiny Pokemon. But of course, we grab him for our collection and gain the achievement Hollow Time on our Steam. Hello, Magic Man. I brought a little buddy for you. Let's chat him up first, get him excited, tell him all about his new friend. We can give you a magic shard while we're here, fill up his mirror. Take a look at a shop, grab a talisman. And before we go, give you your Fishbow. Fishbow, meet Fishbow Jr. You're gonna be best friends. Please take a talisman from my shop, free of charge. Oh, I already got it. Next time. We then decide to dive into that mine that we uncovered to do a little bit of mining and gathering of the chests that are in here. We could use a new rubber rug. On our way out of the mine, we find ourselves in the midst of another psychic storm, so we collect all of the forageable items that we can find. We also ensure to battle a couple of spirits along the way. Before we make our way home, thank the goddess for our piece of coal, sort out our inventory of everything that we collected in the chest today, and head off to bed for our final day of spring, where, of course, we missed another birthday. On our last day of spring, we level up in combat and in social. So we get those 2 new skills and end our spring month. Here is a rundown of everything that we've completed this month. We got 4 dungeons, discovered 42 spirits, tamed 61 new spirits as well. That is all that I completed in my first spring month on Moonstone Island. If you would like to see a more in-depth run-through, please check out the playlist of my day-to-day adventures in the game. I had so much fun, and I am looking forward to see what else this game will offer me in the following months. If you made it to the end and enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. See you next month!